I didn't really switch to Linux because I was bored of Windows or anything like that. It was more of a slow build up over time, mainly because the kind of work I've been getting into lately, which involves robotics, electronics, low-level systems, all of that stuff just tends to assume you're already on Linux. So at some point, it stopped being a maybe I should try thing and more like if I actually want to take this seriously during my gap year, I probably need to set this up properly. And this is basically that process. Before I even get to Linux, I had to deal with the most boring but important part, backing up everything. And I didn't even have a proper external hard drive for this. So I ended up transferring my really important files through the internet to another laptop, which sounds simple, but in reality this took a lot longer than I expected. My internet wasn't great, around 2.2 megabytes per second. So even just moving documents, project files, code, everything, that alone took a huge chunk of time. And I think that's something people don't talk about enough with system changes. It's not the installation that takes time, it's everything around it. Anyways, I spent a bunch of time trying to figure out if I should move my data to the laptop, some of it on a Google Drive, or maybe even on a USB. But once I got done with everything, my laptop was finally primed and ready for Linux to be installed on it. After I was done with that, I moved on to actually preparing the installation. So first, I downloaded Rufus, which is a tool you use to create bootable USB drive. And then Ubuntu itself. Ubuntu is one of the more beginner-friendly Linux distributions, so I went with that instead of something more advanced. Although in the future I do want to move towards something like Kali Linux or something, since I want to move towards cybersecurity. This download itself took hours. Not because it's huge, it's only around 6 GBs, but because of the terrible internet speed. In short, just downloading the Rufus and Ubuntu softwares took me around 8 hours, which is a lot. And so at that point, I realized this whole process already feels like less of a quick install and more of a full setup project. I really had no idea what I was getting myself into. Once Ubuntu finally downloaded, I used Rufus to flash it onto a USB. This basically turns a normal USB drive into a bootable installation drive. At this point, I was still on Windows, just preparing everything. Then I restarted my laptop and entered the boot menu to launch Ubuntu from the USB. And this is the first moment where things start to feel different. Because now you're not just using your system normally, you're booting into a completely separate environment, which to be honest I had not done up till this point. This may seem hard to believe since I've already done a bunch of things in web development and tech in general, but I never had to download or install Linux since I already did have my Raspberry Pi to tinker with. Anyways, since I decided to go cold turkey with this project, I was gonna figure things out the hard way. When Ubuntu finally loaded from the USB, everything looked surprisingly clean. No clutter, no distractions, just a simple installer. And this is where the real decision happens. Install alongside Windows or erase everything and install Linux fully. I already knew I didn't want to dual boot because I knew if I gave myself a fallback, I'd just keep avoiding Linux whenever something felt inconvenient or even the slightest bit hard. So as I said, I went cold turkey and went with the full installation. That meant wiping the entire drive. At that moment, it's not really a technical decision anymore, it's just commitment and probably a little bit emotional too. After confirming everything, the installation process started. This part is mostly automated, so there's not much to do except wait. And after a while it was almost about to be done, my power went out and so did the internet. This was a big bummer since it already took me a long while to install it up till this point. And once the power did come back and the internet was working again, I started the installation again. And this time I prayed that the power wouldn't go out again. And after a while, it was finally completed. After almost 18 hours of going through this entire process, I was finally finished. After the installation was done, I restarted my laptop expecting everything to load normally. But instead, I ran into a very weird reboot situation where it wasn't behaving the way I expected or saw in any tutorial I had watched beforehand. It wasn't a full crash or anything dramatic, more like the system just wasn't properly booting into the new installation at first. So I had to go through a bit of trial and error in the startup process to actually get this working. It took a while and eventually I realized that power outage issue was one of the reasons it had not installed properly, and so once again I had to install it all over again because that power outage just ended up dual booting Ubuntu. Afterwards, I finally had a working interface. It took a long while to get to here, so first thing I did was set the preferences and adjust the wallpaper, since that just immediately makes me feel like the device is mine. After that was done and the device looked a lot more usable, I was finally ready to move on. This is where Linux started to feel different from Windows. On Windows, you usually never touch this layer at all. Here, you suddenly deal with boot behavior, system detection, and startup configuration. Eventually though, I got into Ubuntu for the first time. Since I already have some experience with tech, I did know how to operate the Linux terminal, and so I just installed some things from the terminal and others from the App Center itself. Now that I was actually using Linux firsthand, the first impression was honestly really good. It felt clean, lightweight, and honestly really fast. No unnecessary background processes, no clutter, just a working desktop environment. This is where it actually feels like the setup was actually worth it. But very quickly I ran into the real issue. No Wi-Fi, not slow Wi-Fi, not weak signal, just nothing. No networks detected at all. At first, this was confusing because basic hardware like Wi-Fi should work out of the box. But in Linux, especially fresh installs, drivers are a real thing you actually have to manage. Not to say you don't have to in Windows, but it's a lot more crucial over here. My wireless driver wasn't installed properly. And the problem is obvious. You need internet to install drivers, but you don't have internet because the driver is missing. So I had to manually download it on my phone, transfer it to the laptop, and install it using the terminal commands. And after that, Wi-Fi finally started working. That was the first moment everything actually felt usable, and not just pretty. After that, I started testing actual projects. I connected hardware boards for electronics work and immediately hit a permission denied error. At first, it feels like something is broken, but it's actually just Linux permissions. So I fixed it by adding my user to the correct system group and logging back in. Simple fix, but it completely unlocked hardware access. This is where Linux started feeling less like a software and more like a system you're actually shaping. After the technical setup, I started installing daily use app, browsers, utilities, and even Spotify for background music while working. What's interesting is how Linux handles apps. You can install them in multiple ways depending on what you want. It feels less like installing software and more like building your own environment piece by piece. And there are a million workarounds. It's not perfect though. Battery life is noticeably worse compared to Windows, which I didn't expect and wasn't prepared for. And there are still occasional audio glitches that randomly appear. It's not a flawless system, just a more controllable one. What I've realized though is that Linux isn't really about things working instantly or how fast you can boot up your system. It's about understanding what's actually happening when they don't. And that actually connects a lot with my gap year and my engineering journey. Because this year isn't about passive learning. It's about building things, fixing things, and actually understanding systems, whether that's software, electronics, or anything in between. Right now, everything is set up and it's usable. It's not perfect, but it works. And that's pretty much enough to start building what I actually came here to build in the first place. And the next step isn't fixing the system anymore. It's using it. implementing different things, and learning everything I can. Anyways, I really enjoyed making this video. Even though there were major roadblocks, this was still a pretty fun video to make, and I'm actually enjoying my Linux setup a lot. I don't know if I will be using this as a full-time setup, but for now it's really doing the job really well. Another issue I faced recently was while I was doing my voiceover on this video and realized that the audio drivers for some reason are not picking up the audio the way they used to. Now I don't know if this is a Linux inherent issue or maybe a driver's issue that can be resolved, so if you do know, let me know down below. But until then, I'll keep exploring different things that I can in this new operating system and keep you guys with me on this journey as I explore engineering and computer on my gap year. If you're enjoying this journey so far, feel free to follow along by subscribing and commenting down below what you think I should make next. There's a lot of things I wish to do with Linux in the future, so you guys can let me know any projects you'd like to see and I'll try my best to make it happen. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.